This is just a quick video to have a look at the index and match functionality in Excel. Came up in a discussion today about productivity, and VLookup was mentioned, and I wanted to explain how index and match works and how it compares to VLookup. So I've created this dummy set of data. So on the left here I have a list of contacts, and on the right I have a call log. So I imagine, it's someone's job to go through this call log each day. I'm not actually, these are dates, so let me just format those correctly. So, well, let's go shorter date. So each day someone's supposed to go through and call someone, and we wanted to be able to look up their phone number from the person's name. Ordinarily, when you're doing this, you probably have two different sheets down here. But to keep things simple in this demo, I've just put them both on the same sheet. So the VLookup approach would be, actually let's do the index and match first. So index and match is made up of two different parts. So the first thing we want to do is match. We want to look up a value, which will be Bob, and we want to look up in the array of names. And the match type will be exact match, but you can leave that off or you can specify it. So if I close that, so it'll say row 2. Let me just fill that down, double click there. Oh, okay, so something's broken here. Right, so this was supposed to be up here. So what we need to actually do is lock the row numbers. But I'll come back to that in a minute. There's a better way to do that. So here it's found the index of each person. So Bob is the second person in the list, Chris is the third person in the list, etc. And then from that number we can use the index function. So for now I'll just put it in the VLookup and I'll move it across later. But index, you pass it the array you want to look up. So we want to look up the phone number and the row number, which will be what we've matched here. And close that, and we need to lock these row numbers again, and then we can fill that down, and then it's looked up the phone number for each of those people. So to put that together, let's take the match formula and paste it into here. That works, and then we just move that whole formula back across here, and that's done. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now to confirm that it is doing the same thing as the VLookup, let's do the lookup. So the lookup value is Bob. The table array will be this one. Doesn't matter whether you include extra columns or not. And then the index, so we want the third column of that table, and optionally specify false for exact. So that gives us our number, and if I fill that down, oops, run into the same problem again where we have to lock these row numbers. Okay, and then those numbers are all equal, so it's doing the same thing. But now, the solution to having to lock those row numbers is we should actually be making each of these into an actual table. So if you go to select the table, go to the Insert tab and hit Table, have my row headers checked, and I'll do the same thing over here, Insert Table. Now when I'm in this table, I can see up here it's called Table 1, so I might rename that to Contacts, and this one is Call Log. So now, instead of doing C4 to 8, if I select this, it puts in Contacts Phone, so it's the Contacts table and it's the phone column of that. And instead of A4 to 8, contacts name. So, and I've just edited that one cell, and if I move down you can see that all, looking up here, we can see that all of those cells have been updated. By making this a table, it knows that you really should be having exactly the same formula in each row of that table. So you only have to change it once. So we can do the same thing here if we want. We can change A4 to A4 to E8 to that. And actually it's just the contacts table. So that fixes that. Now, the problem we've got with VLookup that I discovered is we've had to specify column number 3 manually here. So if I came along and decided, oh, I need to add an extra property, like a nickname or something, then all of a sudden our VLookup is broken because it's no longer the third column, it's the fourth column, so I'd have to change that. But the match and index continued to work because it was directly referencing the phone column. And the final thing that you can do with this that I thought I'd just show is, let's say I copy this. Let's say I want to have it so that the phone and the extension gets displayed. So I could do text join with a delimiter of maybe a space and a dash. I can ignore empty. Then I can specify our formula, which will return the phone number, and then the second one I'll just put the same formula in again for now and finish that off, and then I'll just change the phone number bit to the extension, and there you have it, phone number with the extension if it exists. So yeah, I think that'll do. I just thought it'll be helpful to show a few of those things for anyone who hasn't seen them before. See ya.